Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Comic Shop Talk on the Late Night Collectors community. I'm your host, Nico, and joining with me today, as always, is my co-host, Chris. How you doing, man?
Hey, not too bad. How are you?
I'm good. I don't have my drink as of yet. It's kind of en route as we speak here, so I'm waiting on that drink. So you might see my trusty sidekick Christine bust through the door any moment with that drink for.
Must be nice.
Well, no, she is being very nice about it. We were out and about and just got here in time to record, so she offered to go out and grab us a couple of drinks while I start up the show here. So shout out to Christine. There you go. Start off this episode. This week's episode, we're going to be talking about May 17th, 2023's comic book releases, the week of May 17th. And this is Comic Shop Talk, of course, where me and Chris get together every week and we talk about the new comic book releases that we've read each week. We give you our thoughts on it, show off some of the art, give you our ratings and reviews, and sometimes we talk about other comic book related things. We actually got a couple of pieces of news and new comic book solicitations for Marvel here today. So a lot of interesting things to talk about. So stay tuned after the books of the week that we talk about here. If you guys want to hear about that stuff, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hit that thumbs up button, that like button for us. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of when these videos do come out, or you can follow us on Instagram at Late Night Collectors Community. We kind of put a post up every time that we actually put out an episode if you want to stay up to date that way as well. And just a little teaser here for you guys. We also, we do other videos here on Late Night Collectors Community. We're going to be opening up some hockey cards soon on the channel here. Been stacking these packs, these Tim Hortons Legends cards, which apparently aren't very great, but I got about 40 packs here of them to open up here. And JT's got a bunch too. You may see us over here on the Late Night Chat Network, of course, our sister channel here. And you can always check us out there as well. And we're going to be doing an episode, maybe dropping next week, of us opening up these hockey cards. We got to open them up while this playoffs is still going on, Chris. And shout out to Chris, actually, guys.
Let's go Stars.
Go Dallas Stars, man. Chris has a chance to win our hockey pool this year, guys. So we're all rooting for Chris here, man. He's representing the network here. So we're good shit, man. That's gonna be a big pot for you too if you pull this off, Chris. And honestly, it's whoever wins this series between the Stars and Vegas, this out in the West here, right? So it should be very interesting to see what happens there. So I'm looking forward to that. So the first game's tonight, actually, I think.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, there you go. So
go Jason Robertson.
Right. And as always, guys, spoiler warning for you guys. We are going to be talking about what happens in the books here today. We are going to be showing off the art. So sometimes things will get spoiled. So just be forewarned, guys. You can read your books and come back and check us out if you're afraid to get spoiled, as always, or just, carry on and just be forewarned. And, this might get you interested in some of the books maybe you weren't thinking of reading, right? That's why it's good sometimes just to hear what we got to say about it, right? So, all right. That all being said, Chris.
All right, let's talk comics.
Talk some comics. Cheers to you, soon to be. I'll have a drink soon. All right, first up on the docket here today, we got Avengers #1, guys. Of course, the new. Let's take a look at your cover there. Yeah, different
one. An Acuna variant or something.
I love Daniel Acuna. Yeah, he's good. I didn't even see that was an option because I probably would have got that. But of course, I got Stuart Immonen, who's also a great artist as well. I got this one. Can't go wrong. I mean, but this is Avengers #1, the first relaunch of Avengers after, I don't know, several years of Jason Aaron's Avengers, I think. And along with all the other series, we just finished with the Avengers Assemble Omega there. What'd you think of this first issue, Chris?
I don't think it was too bad. Just touching base, kind of seeing how they figure out all these new Avengers. I thought the art was decent. Story's okay. Nothing. I don't think anything too crazy happened in this one. I forget what the big thing at the end was. But yeah, all this Terminus stuff, though, it looks nice there, but it's really just a tool there for them to assemble this new set of Avengers, I guess.
Yeah, this was your basic new Avengers team getting the band together type of scenario in this issue. So while it was a solid issue with I thought some good art. CF Villa on art, who is of course the artist that works with Jed McKay, the writer on Black Cat for a long period of time. He did like pretty much almost all the Black Cat comics with him, I think during his time there. I hope that we see this artist level up during their time on Avengers as well. And that being said, I think they're good artists, but I don't know. Avengers, you need a really, really good artist, I feel like. And I think that while the art looks good, I wouldn't mind seeing another second really good artist kind of trading off arcs or something with CF Villa. But that being said, yeah, it was pretty solid debut issue. I like the team. I love the fact that Vision's on this team. I'm really liking that Vision's on the team and Scarlet Witch. Them together on an Avengers team once again after having them off of the team for such a long time is cool. I really liked it. I really liked his scene. I think the best when she came to collect him. I just think he has a unique kind of perspective, being the fact that he's an android and everything else, and obviously he's got history with Scarlet Witch, so that's really cool that she's on the team, kind of playing the Doctor Strange role, I would say. So yeah, it's a solid team. I like it, and then it's almost like you get your ones that are usually always on the team: Iron Man, Thor, a Captain America with of course Falcon Cap on the team, right? So I'm cool with that. I liked that. Black Panther was interesting, and there's like a beef already between him, and he calls him Falcon, and he's like, that's Captain America. You know what I mean? So I kind of like that. There's some inner turmoil already on the team brewing, right? So I kind of like that part of it. And yeah, to your point, the last page was fucking Kang shows up in the mix, who's a great villain. I love Kang. So like when he shows up, I think you're in for a treat in terms of Avengers storyline. Some of the best ones I've read have had Kang as the main villain. So I know he's been popping up a lot lately, but that's okay. Like I'm always down for some Kang personally, me myself. So I'm excited. I have high hopes for this book. I hope it's really good here on out. I know we both like Jed McKay. He's done some good work, I think, over at Marvel the last couple of years that we've been, or I guess almost 2 years that we've been doing this show. So yeah. So what'd you give this one?
I'll give it a 3.5. I don't think anything's crazy went on, and I saw the stuff with Kang. I was sort of previewed. Wasn't it a timeless? Aren't they looking for those lost moments or something? And that's sort of the gist of this first arc, I believe.
Mm-hmm. I'll give it a 3.75, just shy of a 4, I think, for me. But yeah, just because, like you said, it wasn't that eventful. But I like the team. I like the writer artist team. So yeah, I have high hopes for this book. I think in the coming months we'll see what happens with this one. But I'm happy to be reading Avengers again. As you know, I dropped off Avengers a while ago because I didn't like the direction at one point of Jason Aaron's Avengers. But that being said, I ended up hopping back on towards the end of it, and I thought he did an all right job at the end of the run. So, but I'm still looking forward to this. So yeah. All right, next up we got Titans #1. I ordered this. My issue is not here. It was missed in my pile, so I have this issue. But yeah. Anyways, you just read this one online, Chris?
Yeah, I just read this one online. That didn't make the pull list, and I'm not too perturbed about that. Let's say I thought it was an okay story. The Titans are my favorite. I don't know. I think I'm just broken by like the freaking Teen Titans Go cartoon, which I seem to watch. It seems to be on all the time every time I'm watching TV. Mm-hmm. I'm stuck with those crazy characters, but otherwise, it's a good story. But nothing really stood out to me here.
I thought this was a great debut issue. I mean, this is basically going to be serving as their Justice League book now, as they remind the readers in this issue. That being said, I mean, if I had to compare the two debut issues of starting at the same time, basically what their Justice League book is, which is in the form of the Titans right now, DC, and Avengers over at Marvel, I think this was the better of the two. I also like the artist on this. This artist, she's very good at drawing good-looking people. What was her name again? I forgot her name. I know her name. What is it? Oh, yeah. Nicola Scott. Yeah. She's always been very good at drawing, I guess, good looking folks. And of course, the Titans are a good looking team, I guess. So I think it fits in that sense. Maybe a little too good looking of a book in that sense, though, too. Right. I like my art a little grittier, I guess, at times. But, this is like, I guess, the premier team for the DCU right now. So, yeah, I kind of liked how Garth there, he tried to round him up. That's who I think this Aqua lad or whatever his name is, I think, isn't it? Or is that Garth is Beast Boy, right? I forgot this fucking guy's name, but they try to go collect him up.
His name is Garth, and there's Garfield is Beast Boy.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. So again, I haven't read too much tight ends for that matter, but he kind of refused to join the team. Everybody else kind of seemed to follow suit, though. You get the reveal about Raven and Beast Boy being in a relationship together, and there was a whole thing about them sleeping in the same room in this that they kind of like they were uncomfortable about revealing to the team, but they're like, chill out, who cares? Like, I kind of like seeing the fact that they're in Titan's Tower again. And yeah, there's kind of like a takedown of like a monster fight here, and yeah, I enjoyed it. I did think it was the better out of the two debut team issues. I really liked this. I liked the tone of it. I really liked the whole Wally West thing about and the fact that Peacemaker showed up again. I don't know. They're really putting him into a lot of things. He's been in 3 books now. He's been in this. He's had his own series, and he also showed up in Unstoppable Doom Patrol. But you know what? I'm enjoying him when he's showing up all the time. So I kind of liked how he's kind of coming there and busting their balls already as working for Amanda Waller for if Suicide Squad, saying that it's coming from the president, right? Or is she the president? Yeah. Is that
I don't know if she's the president, but he wants them to work for the country. I did like there that they're not an American team; they're a world team, and
yeah,
I do like Peacemaker being in the mix here. That's
what I mean.
interesting.
As an antagonist here, I think it's actually works pretty well with this team, right? Like you've had that other Justice League, the Justice League International back in the day when they had what's his name that was busting their balls all the time, Maxwell Lord, until he turned into a villain, right? That's kind of feels like that's kind of what the Peacemaker role is here. He's working for Amanda Waller. He wants them to work for them. They want they want the control of the team and oversee their missions and everything else, right? And it's like, no, it's just funny because all the members, like to your point, were like 3 of them were like, we're not even from here. Like I'm from another dimension. Like I'm from space. Like they're just like, yeah, why would we represent you? Like we just do it because we want to, right? So I liked that. Yes, and then there's this whole thing about it, Wally almost dying, which I thought was a good introduction. Like to start the book that way, I thought was interesting because it kind of was unexpected. So yeah, I dug this. I'm in. I mean, and it was different than Nightwing. Tom Taylor is also writing that. This was different than that. He took a different approach because like I almost felt like it was going to be an extension of Nightwing for a while there, right? Because they kind of used it to introduce them. But yeah, this was different in tone. I think this was different than Nightwing, this Titans book. So yeah, I give him credit. So what'd you give this?
Yeah, I thought it was a strong issue too. Now that you kind of refresh my memory on it, I'll give it a 3.75. I liked a lot of stuff in there too.
I'll give it a solid 4. Yeah, I got to because I gave 3.75 to the Avengers. I think this was the better of the 2 debut issues, but I think they cover a lot more ground in this one in comparison. But yeah, I'm excited for the future of both these books. I'm just happy to read some team books again. It's been a while because I didn't like what was going on in a lot of those books, as you know. And like we haven't had Justice League book. The last one we had was that fucking event, which didn't turn out to be all that great, right? So it's just like, I'm hungry for some of these team books now, right? I'm like, come on, let's get some interesting things going here. Hopefully it doesn't fucking turn into a crossover right away. That's what I'm hoping for. I wouldn't mind to read a good year's worth of Avengers or Titans as the Justice League type stories, right? That's cool with me, right? So all right, next up, Chris, you got Catwoman 55.
Yeah, I just read this one online. I think this one did not make the cuts, and some decent stories here. So I think Catwoman is sort of back in action. She's busted out of jail, and she's just kind of roaming through what's that Alleytown is where she lives, and the leader of the Hasagawa girls, I believe, the one that was kind of taking up the Catwoman role while she was gone, sort of has been revealed as an ally of Catwoman. So I guess all the kind of battle lines are drawn, and they're just going. Things are going to happen in the story, I guess. With the gang wars in Alleytown, and I guess you get some Catwoman or Selena Kyle getting back to, I don't know, just back in touch with everything that's been going on since she's been in jail. So it's not too bad, but yeah, it's a decent story. But I'm not sad that I didn't buy it or anything.
Right.
I give it a 3.5. It's still more of the same stuff with just all those gang leaders going on. Nothing much has changed in the last little while. So
is this Black Mask at the end here looking different than he normally does? Is that him or is that somebody else?
That Sionis guy.
This guy at the end in the last panel. Who is that?
I'd have to look back at that, but I think it's Black Mask. He was in there and
Yeah, it says
trying to,
Black Mask's temporary underground hideout here on the page. Oh, okay.
yeah, I think he wants to get back on track because now that those Hasagawa
Yeah.
girls or team is gang or whatever is now aligned with Catwoman.
Okay, just because
So,
he's got a different look going for him that he normally does here. Different
but
type.
I think he stole his mask a while back, so maybe he's got a new mask, or maybe that's the mask all beat up. I don't
Okay.
know.
That's what it looks like. It's like broken in half or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. Then next up we got Wonder Woman 799.
Oh, got a sweet cover for that.
Let's take a look at that. Oh, very nice. Who's that on that one?
I'm not sure who the artist is for this. I guess I
Nice
should,
one though.
kind of photo real one. That's all pretty much the only reason I bought this, and the anticipation of 800 and the new relaunch going back to one. So this one here, it's more like an anthology one. I think they might have three different artists in there. So all these people that are close to Diana Prince or Wonder Woman start having these dreams, and then she's kind of in there, but they're not really dreams of their own. Like Wonder Woman is in there as a person. So this first one's a friend of hers, Edda, and I guess she's just kind of poking around. I think Steve, what his name? I forget what his last name is, but the pilot guy, he has a dream with her in there.
Steve
Yeah.
Trevor?
Yes, Trevor. Is it Trevor Steve or Trevor?
Steve Trevor.
Steve Trevor. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he has a dream with her in there, and then they have I think they have like some Norris god in there as well. I think that's what's going on now is she's fighting the frost giants or something with him, and that's part of his dream. And I think some of the Amazon queens have and they all sort of have different dreams about her. And then at the end, you find out she's in a coma or something. So I don't know how she ended up there. I must have missed that. But it just had a more of an anthology feel. It was nice that each person that kind of had their vision or dream of Wonder Woman was in a different style. So it was a decent story, but it doesn't really move a story along. And I guess with the 800 coming up or the end of the run, they're just looking to set up the new run of Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a decent issue. I like the cover. I give this maybe a 3.75. Some of the art was good inside there as well. Yeah, there she is. I don't know, in a coma out of nowhere. I guess she was struggling between her new divinity that she'd been kind of upgraded to god level, or maybe she's coming back to human level. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that. I like the most was they got some Terry Dodson art in this one, which is always a nice treat. Yeah, I like his work. Yeah, it didn't look as rushed as his Spider-Man stuff, I'll say. So that was good. All right, next up we got Arcade Kings #1. I don't have the art, don't have any of the preview art for this one, but this is what it looks like here. This is a new Image miniseries. It's a 5-issue miniseries written and drawn by Dylan Burnett, who's a Canadian guy. I think he lives in Toronto. I've met him at the shows before. He's also the artist that drew the first original miniseries of Cosmic Ghost Rider with Donny Cates. So that's kind of how I got put onto his work. And I'm a big fan of his art. I haven't seen some stuff from him in a while. I guess he's been working on this. These 5-ish, even though this is a 5-issue miniseries, these are oversized issues. And that's the only thing I'll say about this book. And I hope people check this out and it gets the audience it deserves, because these are $8 issues. Now, if you're going to pay $8 for this, the page count is right. It is double the size of what you normally would get with an issue. But, so like for a 5-issue miniseries, you're going to get a big chunk of story, like a lot of pages. And it's just for maybe people that aren't familiar with his stuff, and it is an Image miniseries. Maybe it won't get an audience, or people will be scared off because of the price tag, right? So I hope that it finds an audience, because this was a hell of a lot of fun. I really liked this. Like, the art is very cartoony and like kind of like more like, almost like video game animation, I would say. Bright colors, lots of action. This is basically like a fighting game. Like, it's basically about this guy who has some sort of past of a father who used to like be in like fighting tournaments. Like, he used to be in like actual like thank you. There we go. He was an actual, like, me, I'm a sucker for anything that's like a fighting tournament, like this kind of, and he even talked about it in the back in the letter column in this, where he kind of like went over the series and why he's doing this series, the artist writer of this book. He mentioned, yeah, he's influenced by video games and anime. So if you guys are into that kind of stuff like I am, I think this is an easy sell. Like, yeah, so it talks about, you see this the book opens up with him showing like this father, like almost like in a Street Fighter type of tournament or something like that. And he or I guess what we think of as his father, or whoever this his father figure or whatever, some guy that's taking care of him and stuff. And you see him and I guess his younger brother kind of cheering him on from the sidelines. And then you find out that this guy who's like a 20-time world champion, Victor McMax, at the end of his they kind of jumps to the future a little bit, and all of a sudden, after like this long streak of him winning, they're like, oh, he's retiring now, and you don't really know why. And then it kind of jumps to the future, and then you see that this new character, who I guess is the kid that we were introduced to in the past scene, he's got like this helmet on that people call him Tomato Head, because of like he's got like some sort of weird like red like helmet on, like jokingly they call him that. He like comes into town and he's just kind of, he's like kind of slumming around. It seems like he's just like moving, like couch surfing or something. He's kind of just making his way through the world and kind of like, doing his thing, and I guess getting involved in tournaments and doing this kind of stuff. And he comes through he finds this arcade in town, and he starts crashing at the arcade because he meets this kid who I guess runs the arcade. And then like he has lines out the door every day in this arcade, and he ends up playing people on this fighting game, and he beats everybody. Like he's like the best video game player like ever. And then I don't know, some street toughs come to like, take him down because they hear about the, of this guy and his is all his glory in this town. Like I guess word travels. And then he takes them out, and he's like, I gotta like, I guess now I gotta move on because they found out that I'm here, and you don't know about his past. He's got a mysterious past, and he's got people after him. And then you see these bad guys at the end, and they allude to the fact they know who his brother is. And you see a picture of like what his brother looked like when they were younger. So it looks like they're going to try to track down his brother and use that as collateral. And it turns out the villain is this fucking guy who was like this champion fighter, for whatever reason, is after this kid, and he's just trying to kind of do his thing, right? And I don't know, and so it seems like a lot of fun. It seems like, I said, if you're into video games or animes or tournaments and this kind of shit, like this is an easy sell. Really, I'm a big fan of the art, and this is the first thing I've read. I think he's ever written to, this artist, so I think it was a good debut issue for an oversized issue. I'm in for the 5-issue miniseries. So yeah, it's called Arcade Kings. And I think I give it a 4.25. Really fun issue. I think it's an easy sell for me just because I'm a fan of those themes. Like, I think if you're into that kind of stuff, like if you're a fan of like Dual Power Bomb, I think this would also be up your alley, for instance, like which was like one of my favorite books last year. Right. So I think this may be something you might be interested in checking out. So next up, we got Batman Brave and the Bold #1. So I'm not going to rate this one because I've only read about half of this issue by the time we had to record. This is an anthology issue, relaunch of Brave and the Bold, under the Batman header, even though it's got 4 different types of stories in it, I think, with different characters. The first one is by Tom King and Mitch Gerrits, who have worked together a whole hell of a lot and are a great team. I mean, they did that, they did... what's it called? The Adam Strange Adventures series. They've done Mr. Miracle. They've done a few maxi series for DC, and they're a well-established team at this point. This is basically a Joker story. It's creepy in all the right ways. He encounters some little girl out and about, but you don't really know it's the Joker talking to her. And then like it has all his captions like in these black kind of like text boxes that like it looks like old school kind of like, like black and white silent movie style almost. And then all of a sudden, like you see this girl in the rain talking to somebody. It cuts to him sitting on the bench there with her and the fucking balloon sitting in the rain, creepy as fuck. So like the visuals of the story were really, really on point. And you're kind of following different aspects. Like you see like somebody kind of get poisoned by the Joker. It's almost like the laughing Joker fish thing where he can't, his face turns into a smile. And, you have another scenario where Batman left a bad guy on the railroad tracks almost to get hit by a train, and he's able to get free while Batman kind of just observes the whole time. And I guess it's just really fucking with this guy. And maybe he's trying to get info on the Joker. We're not really certain as of yet, but yeah, it's really well done. But again, if you're a fan of this team, I think this once again is an easy sell. They're the ones that did the Riddler year one shot issue as well. This team, so yeah, it's good stuff. Joker ends up stabbing this little girl's father at the end and killing him. So yeah, it's pretty dark. Then you got this one, which I think is a Stormwatch story. I think. I really like DEO, Mr. Bones, like the leader of the DEO who's in this story. And then they kind of threw a bunch of other different characters together to kind of form this version of the team in this story. This was okay. I didn't love it. I mean, I like some of the characters here. I like that they're going for something different. But if I'm being entirely honest, this one didn't hook me as much as probably the other one. But it's an easier sell, I guess, in the fact that it's Batman. Ed Brisson was a writer on this one. This one was good. Then you had this one I haven't read yet. This is written by Christopher Cantwell. And I forgot the name of this artist. He's really good as well, though. Really different looking art. This is a Superman story. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. So I just wanted to show you guys the art on this. I know he's not everyone's favorite artist just because of how unique of a different style that he's got for Big Two Comics, but I'm a big fan. I think it's Javier Pulido, actually. I think is the name of this artist. Yeah. Really interesting looking stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. I like Christopher Cantwell stuff. And then fucking Dan Mora has got a story in here. I don't know how the hell this guy's. I don't know how this guy's doing this much art. He literally wrote and drew his own black and white story on this, and it looks amazing. I haven't read it yet, but again, look at the visuals. This is probably the best thing I think he's drawn between the Shazam book and the fucking Batman Superman World's Finest book, which we're going to talk about today as well. Look at this guy. This guy literally just did this black and white Batman. Like, I don't know how this guy is putting out this much work. Like, the fact he's got 3 books out on the stands this month with his work in it is insane to me. And it all looks great. So, like, shout out to Dan Mora. This guy's a machine. I just wanted to say that. I haven't read this story. It may be the shittiest story ever, but it looks fantastic. And, Batman black and white, can't go wrong there. So, there you go. So I think this is, again, I haven't read the whole thing. And again, this is like another $8 or $10 book, like this Brave and the Bold one, because you get like 72 pages, I think, of art and story in this. There's some good creators involved in it. There was all good artists in it. So I'll say that much. And even though I haven't read the whole thing, it might be worth you checking out, guys. Like, I'm not a huge on anthologies because most of the time out of 4 stories, I might end up liking 2, but there is top tier talent in this book. So I think it's worth the price of admission based on that alone. At least you're going to get some pretty pictures to look at, right? If you don't like all the stories. So I'm not going to rate it though. And then Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty, number 12. This was fine. I don't know. I'm kind of, this Cold War event is not panning out in my opinion. It's not very interesting. Again, good art, but the story's lacking. Not very interesting. They're tapping into some period of Captain America, which I know a lot of people were not a fan of. So I'm curious as to what other people think about this whole Dimension Z Cap era that Rick Remender wrote, which I enjoyed for the most part, but like, I don't feel like it's been addressed in such a long time to remind people that Captain America has a son that was like born in another dimension, and like, to bring him back into the fold for this storyline specifically that really had to do more with like secret societies, like working in the shadows type shit, like behind the scenes. Like, I thought that the espionage part of that and the secretive shit in that, like that first initial arc in this Captain America book was really well done. But to kind of parlay that into a whole like event and then bring in all these other elements all of a sudden and then cross it over with the Falcon Cap book, like I don't know. I think there's just too much going on here for me to like really center in and enjoy this one. In this one, you get like Winter Soldier and Natasha, Black Widow there kind of meet up with one another, and they have some interesting scenes. And like I said, the art's good. Just there's too much happening here, I think, for me to like, I don't think there's a lot of focus. They're crossing over both of the Cap books. It's fine. I'm not that interested in, I think, what's going on here, though, and sadly. I give this a 3.25. I'm not. I might just stick with it because I think I'm already halfway through the book. But the fact that they derailed the book, which I read the first trade of this Captain America series, and I loved to do this event. I'm just down on events, man. I these crossovers are just there's so many bad ones, Chris, or like subpar like type thing. Just like tell me a simple story with this character. Don't I think like it's so hard to coordinate this, and then you got different writers and different artists, and it's just like it's so hard to kind of hit all the hit it across the board where it's like all of it's great, right? It's just such a hard thing to pull off. So all right, so next up. I know. I was kind of like, yeah, why not? I'll try this out, this Captain America, because I like the main book, the Steve Rogers book. The Sam Wilson book I never read, but yeah, it's just not that great. Fantastic Four #7, Chris. What's the legacy number on this one?
This one's 700, I think.
700. Okay. Yeah, nice. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, basically I bought this because it was the 700. Again, now it's Ross cover. You can't go wrong with that. No. And I think this was supposed to be where the Fantastic Four comes together again. I don't know. I haven't really made a read of the first few issues of this run, but it didn't really interest me all that much. I don't think this was a bad issue. I don't think it was a Fantastic Four issue. It seemed to be more like a Doom issue. But the things that Doom brings up I thought were very interesting. I'm not sure how he travels through time so much, or how he has his power to travel through time. But I guess he's trying to save his his goddaughter or something, that Valeria,
yeah.
Yeah. And he keeps on jumping through all these different timelines, and it's never working out. And then when he's just the reasons why he thinks it's happening it's because in the future he believes he might be setting himself straight for all this stuff, or anything that's happening this way must be happening for a reason, because his future self wouldn't allow it to happen otherwise. So I thought that was all kind of interesting stuff, if you're kind of really thinking about time travel and big picture or long game thinking. But otherwise, I think it's okay. Like the stuff with Fantastic Four, I don't know, you just seem to get their ass kicked all the time or something in this one.
As you know, I've continued reading this, and I mean, I'm just gonna repeat basically what I've been saying this whole time about this series. I like the characterizations of these characters. I don't like the stories they're telling with these characters. Again, he gets Doom. Like, he's so vain in this. Like, he can't, like the fact that he's going back to thwart and like his plans continuously in this, just because he can't be proven wrong in this scenario. And he can't have Reed Richards be right. Like, that's it's the essence of the character. Like, he gets it. Like, that's what I mean. Like, this is a great depiction of Doom. For that alone, this was a good issue in that sense. But like, the story itself wasn't all that interesting, I felt like. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, it's I'm so like in the middle of the road with this book. Like, I think I'm just gonna stop reading it, because like I keep waiting for it to win me over, but the stories he's telling aren't interesting to me. Like, I don't know, like, but he gets the characters. That's the worst part about it. Like, I think the Ryan North, the writer of this, has a great handle on who these people are. Like, and this was a great depiction of Doom in this issue, and I think the art was good. But the story was just fine to me. Like, I don't know. Like, it wasn't all that interesting. Like, that's cool. They went to the things, Aunt Petunia's house, beach house or whatever. Like, that's cool, because, that's something he's always gone on about, his Aunt Petunia and all that. So that was interesting, I guess. But like, they're always like these small, like time, like science type stories, which I guess at the essence of Fantastic Four, they are like a family and they do science adventures type shit. Maybe that's what you want out of the Fantastic Four. But I just don't feel like they've ran into many villains prior to this Doctor Doom storyline now. Like, and I know it took a few issues for them to all get together, but it just seems like small time stories that they're telling in this book. I want more grandiose space adventure type shit for the Fantastic Four. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what I like with or like, let's see some more of the Rogues Gallery, right? So I think it's cool that Doom showed up in this, because of course Doom is like, synonymous with the Fantastic Four, and the whole Valeria thing's cool. But like, yeah, it was okay to me. It was, He got Doom though, like you said. He understands Doom. That this is Doom. This is a good version of Doctor Doom in this. It just story was boring to me. You didn't find it that boring, or you liked it?
Well, I kind of like just the frustration of Doom. Like
Yeah,
as a Fantastic Four issue, I don't know about that, but just
yeah,
the way that Doom freaking going back and forth all the time, thinking, "No, this can't be it." I'm better than this, and
yeah,
then even every time he fails, and like the way he, like you say, he reasons that, like you say, his ego is so big, is that, oh, I know why I'm failing, is because my future self
yeah.
is forcing me to fail because that's how good I am.
Yeah, and I think he said he had a time machine in this to answer your question because I know you
Yeah,
like
I know, but I don't know where he got this time machine from, and
he's Doom.
and how come this time machine isn't opening up freaking every path he goes through is in a different timeline that's living out its way. You know what I mean?
And
Like this seems like Groundhog Day, where once he goes back, he comes back, everything's fine again. But anyways, that's
that's
comic, whatever.
right, and that's the thing. I love Doctor Doom. So like you would think I would love this issue, but like there's something missing from this fucking book. And like I said, I'm 7 issues in. I'm not buying it. I've been reading it online, but I just can't stop reading it because I'm like I'm waiting for something else that's just not happening. And I don't know. Like I'm so like I don't know. This is one of the books I can't drop because I like the Fantastic Four. I really want to like this book, right? I don't know. It's something about it. It's not clicking 100% with me yet still. But he is a great depiction of him. Absolutely, I agree with you. So yeah, so what'd you give this one then?
Uh I'll give it a 3.75 for the Doom stuff. I thought that was new
Yeah,
and interesting. Let's see.
I'll give it 3.5 just
Yeah,
based on that. Like again, the story's not all that interesting to me so far in this series, but like I don't know. The fact that we're like in 7 issues already into the series, I feel like more should have happened by this point. But it took them fucking 4 issues to get back together, right? And in
yeah,
this issue, they literally said for the first time, "Oh, we're gonna be a team again." Like you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Well, like the hype for this issue, it's really underwhelming.
Right, right. So I'm probably gonna stick with it though. I need
Yeah,
to see what happens. I like the Fantastic Four, right? So I need to see what happens. So all right, next up we got X-Men 22. Yeah, we got
I had a variant cover for this one here too. That I think is the Derek Chew.
oh, that's a
No,
nice.
I think this is a nice cover. I like this one for sure.
Is that a regular priced one or
Yeah,
like
this is a regular priced one. Yeah, I'm not buying no ratio variants or anything where you think I'm crazy.
sweet? So what'd you think of this?
I thought it's pretty good. I thought it was okay. You got they're setting up that fall of X or fall of Doom. That I guess the big story here is that Orcus has I guess manipulated all the Krakoa medicines and manipulated them in a very devious and evil way. Kind of like that one scene where you got Nimrod just stretching back in the back of the car as a robot. I thought he'd be more of a
Right there.
upright sort of guy, not somebody that's be ready to relax.
Yeah.
But what they have there, I guess that frequency that just sends people is supposed to inspire the fight or flight response, and the one guy just rams his head against the wall until he jumps out there, and they got a pretty good thing going there with I guess with all the people that take that medicines, and they're all pretty much ready to explode. And then this other stuff here with them going to was that X gene conversion center or something,
Yeah.
and just brought up some good points. I guess they had a Wolverine skeleton that they kind of threw some meat on or turned it into a weapon. I thought that was interesting. And then I know who's talking about it at the end is has anybody been keeping track of all the Wolverines we've killed? And they're like, not really.
Right, right. How about when fucking Cyclops got cold clocked here?
Yeah,
That was pretty awesome. But yeah, that's super interesting. If Forge mentions that, he's like, yeah, like we know Wolverine's died a lot of times. What's going on with his exoskeletons? He said mantium skeletons because the thing they fight is made out of one of his fucking mantium skeletons, right? Awesome. I love it, man. Good
and
stuff.
seeing friggin' Firestar, kind of unleash the power there too. We haven't seen
Yeah,
much of her. I guess she might be leaving the team because you got the gala coming up, and if she's not part of their plans, which she wasn't, because I think she was just voted in by popularity,
it was.
it might not we might not see much of her anymore after this. So
He's the one that fucking toasted this guy, though.
yeah, he almost kind of did the Human Torch Nova move.
I like to see that though, because she warned him. Like, she's like, because then most people would think Firestar is like, oh yeah, she's nice or whatever, right? Like, she's not like made like of the same, like, like she's not willing to go to this place like the rest of the X-Men. But she was like, listen, like, back off. I'm gonna like I'm gonna fuck you up. And
Yeah.
oh, all right. So here, like, yeah, totally toasted that guy, which I thought was
got some of those little Ryan Stegman eyes before she powered up there, so that's always good.
yeah, man. Good stuff. Yeah, I like this. And what the hell is up with these apes at the end here? What's happening there?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like, are those orcas like apes or something? I don't know.
Yes, yeah, really interesting stuff going on though. I gotta say, such a
Yeah.
such a different X-Men book. I gotta say, again, I say that a lot about Jerry Duggan's X-Men book, but like, I just feel like the storylines that he's telling in this book just seem like it's still involved with the great, like the whole Krakoa stuff, but just so different than the other titles. I feel like it takes itself less serious. I feel like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a lot of fun, this book.
Like if I had to buy one mutant title, I'd be buying X-Men
Same.
over like, Immortal X-Men or X-Men Red or any of that stuff.
Same, absolutely, same. Yeah. So what'd you give this one?
I'll give it a 4. I thought it was pretty decent. I love that cover too.
Yeah, solid 4, absolutely. All right, Chris, Venom 19.
Oh, Venom 19. What I wanted to do, or what I was thinking of doing earlier, is kind of comparing the solicitations to the actual issues. Because I had to look back at this one, because I didn't buy this one. I guess it didn't make my pull list. And then I read the solicitation. It's like, oh, Eddie Brock is, he's at the true enlightenment. You're going to see the strongest form of Eddie Brock yet. Oh, Venom Maniacs, this one's for you. Eddie Brock isn't even in this issue. It's all about Dylan Brock and freaking Normie, and they're floating around. Like, they have that NewMazo guy in the cover. He's not even in it. Like, the solicitation to this issue had absolutely zero to do with this issue. Not that it was a bad issue, but they're hyped. I thought I missed a big issue where, I think the last issue, Eddie Brock is still in the void there talking to his hand, and there's some big scene at the end, and here this is it's just nothing what the solicitation said. Here, Venom, I guess Venom and Normie seem to be friends, and Dylan, I don't know, Dylan seems to move from like being a 19, 20-year-old teenager to a 15-year-old or 14-year-old kid, because that Normie is like a little kid, and he's friends with him.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, either way they go out, I don't know, they're listening to the news. This almost is like right out of the Spider-Man movie where they're having dinner there together.
Yeah.
And then, let's listen to the news. Oh, and then, there's freaking somebody's out there doing something. And then, Norman Osborn, oh, well, I got to step out for a minute.
Right.
And he does his Gold Goblin thing. And then I guess Venom or Dylan, he goes, oh, well, I'm out of here. And then they end up fighting. And I don't know, we'll see where it goes. But I'm more interested in the Eddie Brock stuff. And that's one downside to this whole series, is like, I think the Eddie Brock stuff has been pretty decent, and that Dylan stuff just puts a lot of bumps in the story,
Right.
And I don't know, that's about it. I'd give it that at the end. Is that the NewMazo? That's supposed to be like the original symbiote that was on Earth, I think.
Okay.
And I thought there'd be a big throwdown between him and Venom or Eddie Brock, but no, nothing.
Okay. So what'd you give this one?
From what I thought it'd be, I'd give it a freaking 2. But as a story itself, it was okay. It's a 3.5. Nothing crazy. I do have Venom coming on my pull list again, because I think they got some connecting covers coming up that are an homage to some of the swimsuit issues. So I couldn't say no to that.
Oh, you didn't. Oh, so you didn't pick up this issue.
I didn't pick up this issue. If it was any decent, I'd probably be going out to buy it. If whatever they're talking about in the solicitations was there, but it had absolutely zero to do with what happened in the issue.
Right. All right. She-Hulk number 13.
Yeah, this one I'm pulling. I think it's the first one I haven't pulled, and I don't feel so bad. It's still a good issue. It's still fun. Slice of life of Jennifer Walters there. So she's on having a little lunch date with Patsy Walker, and the scoundrel guy comes by, or she's thinking about all these battles she's just had with this new villain, not really a villain character, but a bad guy, let's say. And then she sees him walking across, out the window of the story of the restaurant where they're having lunch with Patsy or Hellcat. So she excuses herself to try and track this guy down. And, he just seemed to be like a suave sort of, that a thief type of person. Say, hey, I'm not a bad guy. I'm just doing a job, and we should be, I want to be more friends here. I'm just doing this so I can kind of meet up with you all the time. But every time they've met, this scoundrel character has gotten the best of She-Hulk.
Right.
So he's got some power up his sleeve, I guess. And then I know she goes back to work, and just more the lawyer stuff where she goes into her office and you see all the villains or all the villains and heroes kind of just sitting there waiting to talk to her. And I guess at the end there, she has a bit of a heart to heart with Jack of Hearts there, and I guess to kind of see how that she might be getting bored with them. They just try and have their end of day chat, but he's got to take off somewhere because his radiation is overloading or something like that. Wasn't a bad issue, but nothing. I guess the new stuff is that the stuff with the scoundrel. It's almost more like a soap opera type of story, which isn't bad. It's a good switch while you're reading stuff, so I didn't mind it. I give it a 3.75 because I thought it's better than bad.
The art looks better than it used to be too, as well. It looks
I think they're one of the better artists there, and it's always good. That always makes the story better.
Jack of Hearts and her still like.
Yeah, there's still an item, let's say, but
yeah, okay.
I guess he was all radiated out, and I guess he sucks up her gamma radiation, so they got to be, it's almost like the Rogue Gambit sort of problems.
Right. Okay. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I read this one digitally. I want to like this book, but I'm not clicking with this. This is the same writers actually of the Captain America crossover stuff too. Actually, I think at least in the Cap book, which again I really like that first trade. I don't think it's an indication of their stuff because I know a lot of people I've heard have been digging this. This team is very similar to the one that was in the recent film Guardians of the Galaxy 3 that came out, which I watched and I really loved. I thought it was great. Too bad James Gunn is now no longer working with Marvel and doing those films because he went over to work with DC, but I'm looking forward to what he has to do with DC. But anyways, that's the film stuff. But this issue, like Kev Walker, the artist on this, I'm a huge fan of this artist. I wish you read this, Chris, because I couldn't tell you what the fuck happened in this issue. I mean, it was pretty late when I read it. Maybe I need to reread it. I don't know. The plot is very weird in this book. Like, it's very convoluted. They talk about this, like, the Groot fall.
I think the Groot fall is coming. Like, Groot is right. Like almost like a force of nature here or something.
Yeah, like but they didn't really ever take the time, I feel like, to explain it in the first issue, and I felt like it was the same thing in this issue.
Yeah.
And the first issue felt more like a Western, and it almost like felt like they abandoned that theme in this, which I didn't like. And then it was almost like at least I didn't get the same vibes from it in that sense. And then like in this issue, it's the same thing. They're going around and they're trying to like help people that this thing's gonna like come across, and they're still like people are refusing their. I was just like, it just seems like such an uphill battle of a stupid plot line. Like I'm just like, why are they doing any of this shit? So it's just like
I think they're just sort of doing this, like just kind of put nice splash scenes and worry about the story second and try and capitalize like crossover fans from the movie, but unfortunately, comic book fans suffer for that.
It's maybe because like what you're saying makes sense because like that is exactly how I felt about this, and what a waste because this I really like this artist. The writers have a lot of goodwill like going for them right now. Like I think that these two writers that have been co-writing this, that like I said, they did some good stuff on Cap. I think there's a lot of people that are a fan of these people's works, and it's just this is just not hitting the mark for me, and I'm probably not going to read anymore. I just couldn't tell you what the hell happened by the end of this issue. Yeah. This is so convoluted. 2 issues in, I don't care about what they're doing. I don't know why they're doing it. Like so like I don't know. It's just I don't need to read if I get a whole 6 issues of this to figure out what the hell the point of this story is. I'm sorry. Yeah. First couple issues got to hook me with something other than the art. I got nothing going for me at this point right now. It's not like I like the Guardians or like I like the Guardians. I love the movies, but I don't need to read like every It's not like me struggling with Spider-Man book or a Punisher book or something like that, right? So I'm like, I'm over this. So I give this a 3. Disappointing to say the least.
Yeah, it's too bad if they could capitalize sort of on the cachet of the Guardians movie and put out a decent story. Nothing to do with the movie, but just put out a decent story. That captures sort of the same essence.
Yeah.
But like I say, it looks like they just freaking phone it in.
Yeah, no, it's disappointing. Next up, we got Red Room Crypto Killers #1, the return of Red Room. I don't have the preview art for this one either, but some of the art is pretty, graphic anyways. So, if you haven't heard me talked about this is written and drawn by Ed Piskor, an indie cartoonist, indie comic book creator who's from the popular YouTube channel, also that they do Cartoonist Kayfabe. They do some good stuff. So, I picked this up. This is the third and final miniseries, 4-issue miniseries in this Red Room kind of storyline. There's been a through line connecting throughout each storyline. And in this one, this issue deals with the daughter of a Red Room killer who basically was exposed and went to jail and I guess died while he was in jail. All right, he was killed, you find out in this, by somebody else. But and basically the fallout of that and her having to deal with being the daughter of this notorious killer, and once it's revealed in the media how people treat her in her everyday life and how she's struggling, and she can't even, like, her job basically fires her because almost after a year of working there and all the bad press, they've almost lost all their customers at the store that she works at part-time or full-time or whatever, and they had to fire her. And she's basically like, she's struggling with like lawyer bills and like, like she can't collect any of the money, kind of like the not Manson, that thing that was the Dahmer, like the Dahmer stuff, like they just recently had that Netflix show about it and stuff like that. Like in the show, you find out that like the people went off and like wrote books about it, like the father and stuff about his experience, and like if there was any money that they collected as a result of this, they would have to give it over to the victims. Like there was a lawsuit going because they felt like you shouldn't be able to profit off of this person's like fucked up shit that he did, right? So there's kind of like a storyline in this about that as well. There's somebody who was writing a book about it and she was hoping to get some of the money from it, but she doesn't. So yeah, some interesting stuff in this, and the art's good and I like it. It is dark and more of a fucked up type of storyline, but if you're into that kind of stuff, I think this is still enjoyable. And by the end of it, basically, I guess hence the name, the crypto killers of this thing, she finds a secret crypto wallet that her father had collected from being a Red Room killer all these years. And she's like, it's like almost $300 million in crypto that she actually has acquired by the end of this issue. So whether or not you see they follow up with that storyline or they bounce around in the next issues, we'll see. But as an issue, I'd have to give it a solid 4. Actually, I think it was a well-told story. And the more I talk about it, I think it was a tight and well-told story. And I think like he covered a lot of ground with reintroducing us to these characters in this world again in this one. So yeah, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. And then lastly, for things I've read here, Giant Cockshoe #2. This wasn't that good. Once you get past the stupid humor of this book, there's not much that it's offering. It's only a 3-issue series, and there's even some like rehashing of him banging the buildings. You're just seeing new art of him banging buildings and stuff.
New angles.
Apparently, I found out, which I didn't know, was this is something that Jerry Duggan, who's such a good writer, like I guess he just threw this out there. This is something that he did, I think, at the start of the pandemic on his Substack. So there you go. This is just like some random idea. I guess he was just like with an artist, hey, you want to put this out at the start of the pandemic because they had no other things going on. So they did this. So when you look at it in that lens, I'm like, okay, I guess a little bit is forgiven in that sense. This is not something that's very much substance to it at all. But what would you expect from a 3-issue series called Giant Cockshoe? But hey, listen, it had some fun stuff in it still. Yeah, there's this saucy scene here, someone bagging, and all of a sudden the giant cockshoe sees this banging going on from outside the building, and then his giant fucking cockshoe dick comes through the window and like and it pegs this woman, and then you see her flying off into the background after getting hit. for that alone, I was like, okay, that's kind of amusing, but it's so stupid. And then there's like another scene where the fighter jets are like flying at him, and he grabs his toxic shit and like throws it. It's so stupid. Although I'm laughing because you can tell it's just so dumb. It's just like so. Once you get past the stupid jokes, it's just like, yeah, there's not much to this story. But, but clearly I had some fun with it. I had some laughs, but it's just and there's a building. There's a building the government owns that looks like a giant dick and ball. It's so stupid. Oh boy. Anyways, it all leads to the end of the issue where the secret government agent guy that's warned them about this big kaiju thing, monster this whole time. He goes to some facility, and you learn that he was actually one of the trial people that tried out like a big, almost like a Megazord, like a big Power Rangers type of like robot, right? So he gets into it at the end and powers up. And then he goes to town. He's like, all right, I'm going to go fight this thing. And that's how it ends. So this last issue, I guess, is going to be a showdown between this guy and the big, the big Megazord type thing. And he's going to fight the big giant cockshoe. So yeah, giant cockshoe. I don't know. I'll give it a 3.5. I did have some fun with it, but it's at the end of the day, there's not much there. You could easily skip this one and just get the enjoyment out of me describing the book to you in that sense. All right. Next up, you got Superman number 4. Again, I have my issue. I bought this, guys. I forgot to pick it up. So yeah, it was missed in my pile again. I don't know what's going on. Superman number 4. I picked this up though. What'd you think of this, Chris?
I know it's cut down by the Kryptonite Claw. That's pretty much what sold me when I put this on my pull list. Am I wrong, or did I not even see a Kryptonite Claw in this story here?
I don't think you did. No.
Okay. Don't like that to begin with, but otherwise, I think this story was more about this Marilyn Moonlight or something. I think there's a bit of stuff about her. Nothing really jumped out at me in this story. I've been liking Superman, but I don't know. They got to start moving on with his enemies here, or what's the stuff with Lex Luthor or something.
I do like the relationship with Lex being in jail helping him though. There was this whole scene I really liked. I like that he did something against one of the inmates that was talking shit about Superman. And I also like when Superman came to visit him, they talked about, oh, look at all the good work we've been doing lately. And then they cut to this, like they talk about like 4 different things that have happened that we haven't seen actually.
Yeah.
That have
maybe I got to show more of that stuff. And
right, this looked all interesting stuff. I was like, oh, what's going on with these adventures, right? And then and instead they focus on the fucking Banshee or whatever her name is, over Banshee, who I know is a Superman villain, but like not one that I've ever really been interested in. So I don't know what's going on there. It's not even her. It's like these other bad guys that have been fucking around since the first one that I guess have been coming at Luthor. I love the Nick Dragata art though. It was nice to see him on a few pages in this. I really like his style. Very different. I like how it seems like he's the artist that telling stories of old Lex Luthor, like coming to Metropolis. Yeah. Like there is some things I dug in this. I hear what you're saying.
I did like that part. It reminded me of what's that Reloaded there, the douchey
yeah. Oh, this scene
the douchey nemesis
from last week. Yeah. Yeah, kind
of. This story's got to be a lie. There's no way freaking Lex Luthor was coming to Metropolis as I want to be a hero. I'm going to try and help people out.
Right. Yeah. And you gotta love it because this is back when he actually had hair too, right? Yeah. It's almost like the unreliable narrator, right? Superman's like, nah, that never happened. He's like, what? You think I don't be a superhero before you came to town? He's like, I don't want to help people. I'm like, yeah. He's like, nah, yeah, no. I like that. That's what I mean. Like, this is the most interesting part, I think, about the story. Everything else, I can take it or leave it, right? But I do like the whole Lex. I do like the Lex Superman kind of relationship in this so far. It's kind of what's keeping me going. I'm close to dropping it myself though, but we'll see. I'm not Superman's a hard sell for me. So like, but the art's been great on this series. Like the art's really good, right? Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I'm enjoying the art there, like I say, but this will be on the chopping block there, especially if we got a busy summer.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's start putting up some decent covers and freaking having something to do with the story.
Yeah, no, I agree. I know that's such a you hate that, eh?
That's the reason I bought this. It gave me like some Infinity Gauntlet vibes. Oh, what's going on here? And freaking, I didn't see not even a freaking hint of it. Like I don't know, maybe I missed something. Maybe I had to reread it.
Maybe.
Might have been in the background of one of the. Maybe it's an Easter egg in there somewhere.
What'd you give this one then?
Yeah, 3 point. Wow, I got a 3.75 because that stuff with young Lex Luthor there was pretty good.
Yeah, I'll give it 3.75 as well. I did like that stuff. And I like seeing, like I said, Nick Dragata, the different artists. This is his first issue, I think, on doing a few pages. I like his stuff. So, yeah. All right. And finally, we got Batman Superman World's Finest number 15. What'd you think of this one, Chris?
Yeah, once again, this is one of the comics that I've just been reading online. Maybe I should be freaking picking this one up, but now I think I'm too far gone. I think the storyline's okay here.
It's great. It's great. What are you
doing? It's good. I like the art, but I can't be too big on it because I feel bad that I'm missing out on this stuff. But I still don't like freaking Robin carrying around Superman. Come on, give me that baloney. But like that. What's that? Metamorpho or Metal? It's Metamorpho or the Elemental Man's in this one, right?
Yeah, Metamorpho. Yeah.
I'm still liking that guy. And I think he turns into a spacesuit to protect Superman from I guess some kryptonite rays.
Well, the Metal Men help him like build this this suit or whatever, this bat suit that he's got that can stand up against all the different elements.
Is Batman really in there, or is that just the Metal Men coming together to look like Batman?
Oh, is that what was going on? Maybe that was lost on me then. I thought that was Batman in there. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think at one point, like that's what it looks like when it first comes out, but then I think in a few pages there's Batman roaming around somewhere else.
You're right. That's even cooler. All right. Yeah. I like that actually.
They should have had them freaking come together, like the Voltron experience there.
Yeah. You're right.
Some few pages to burn.
You're right. That was the Metal Men. Yeah, I like that. I just like how this like encompasses like a certain corner of the DC universe with Mark Waid's version of it, and the guest stars that show up in it. Like there's the Challengers of the Unknown in this issue. You got the Metal Men. Like these are some classic back in the day type DC characters that are showing up in this, and it's fun. Doom Patrol. Like this is Robin got hit by the acid in this one. There's some good stuff happening in this, man. Yeah, the Challengers. I can't remember the last time I seen the Challengers of the Unknown. This is really cool, man. Like I like how he's taking these like older characters and trying to like, you know what I mean? Like bring them back to the forefront in sort of a modern book, but also at the same time, like a throwbacky kind of old feeling book too.
Yeah. What gets me is that I don't have too much history with the old DC there. Like I did remember what's that Elemental Man guy, but otherwise, I don't know anything about these Metal Men and what's going on.
Me neither. I've seen them show up in other things I've read, but that's what I think is good about this book. It does expose you to a lot of other corners of the DCU that aren't really used and interesting characters. You know what I mean? I don't think you need them people. I just think they're using them well, like in this story, right? Like I think it's like, I think the Titans, it's good stuff, man. I love this ending of the story though. This ending of the whole all the people that have like worked with AI in the DC universe, like
they're all afraid to
man.
They're all afraid to brainwashed in there, and they're afraid to talk to even speak.
Right, like what an awesome like scene of them all like sitting there like kind of fiddling with their own shit, and like what's his name? Superman's like, what the fuck is going on here? Like it's just like, what's going on with all these guys? Like he's grabbing the guy who leads the Metal Men. He's like grabbing. He's like, what are you doing here? Like, what's happening? She's like, shut up. Like, you'll hear us. Like, yeah, that was cool, man.
That's not a bad story beat there. That's for sure.
Yeah, man, it's good stuff. Yeah, and fucking NewMazo, bro.
God damn, DC has the worst name for people. Like I know that Amazo's a bad one, and then
NewMazo.
It's good that it's bad. Like they didn't come up with like some edgy name. Yeah. Like they keep it in the same vein. That last name was freaking cheesy. We're gonna freaking double down on the cheese. He's not Amazo 2.0. He's NewMazo. So I gotta give him credit for that.
Yeah, come on. NewMazo. He's like shows up. He's like this. Hey, fucking NewMazo.
It's better than Tony Stark writing in his journals. So I'd buy NewMazo before I'd buy Tony Stark's journals.
Oh, so what'd you give this one, man?
Okay, you talked me up. I'd give it 3.75.
Oh, I give it 4.25 this week. It was a fun book. I like this book a lot. I'm glad I stuck with it through that shitty fucking arc.
What do they think with that stupid Thunder Boy or Boy Thunder? Come on.
Oh.
Way to ruin me.
All right, so let's move over quickly over here for a moment to in the news. Some new upcoming series announced. A couple of things worth noting. I wanted to mention here today, guys. A couple of things that me and Chris have been questioning a lot on this show. Actually, were just announced because the new solicits just came out. But I guess we'll go over them in the new solicits. So maybe, well, this one won't be in the solicits. Well, they just announced the new writer and artist on Daredevil. So Chip Zdarsky's last issue is August. It is confirmed now. September is the launch of a new #1 Daredevil issue. And it is with writer Saladin Ahmed and artist Aaron Cooter. Now, I've liked some of both of these men's work on when it comes to art and writing. Not everything, and I haven't read everything about them, but I love Daredevil as a character, so I'm willing to continue with it and give it a shot. How about you on this announcement? Anything?
Yeah, I don't know about either of those people, so I'll give it a go. Hopefully it's a decent artist,
Aaron Cooter, you've seen his art on certain stuff, and I think he was an artist on some of the Jason Aaron Avengers. And some of it you liked, some of it you didn't, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I don't know. Hope he's not too cartoony, that's all.
Yeah, so I guess I think he's somewhere in the middle. I wouldn't say he's like very realistic-y type stuff, but Saladin Ahmed, I've read a couple of things I've really liked of his, and then I've read a couple things I haven't really liked. So, but he's been a more of an up and comer. Same with Ram V. He kind of came on the scene same as like around the same time as he has, I would say. But unlike Ram V, I think I've liked Saladin Ahmed's stuff more than I've liked his. So
encouraging.
Yeah.
As long as he comes in, with a few good stories in mind, nothing too grandiose, let's say, unless it is grandiose.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't read the article. I didn't really want to know what he was planning on.
Well, I'm sure they didn't probably say much anyways.
Yeah, they never really do. But but it is official that is the new creative team that'll be launching the book. The cover looked good. That I saw the cover image, anyways. The whole classic Daredevil in the rain type gimmick.
Are they relaunching it one again, or?
Yeah, they are. So this is going to be a short-lived series. This Zdarsky one. It's only
gonna be what the hell? Well, I didn't even know why they relaunched that at one. Because wasn't Zdarsky doing it anyways?
Yeah, I believe I read that they're launching it at one, unless I'm mistaken. I believe that's the case. And I'm still here for it. I'm going to stick with Daredevil for now.
I'll give it a few issues.
Yeah. And we'll go over the new Thor announcement in the solicits, because the first issue is in the solicits that we'll be going over here in a moment. That's the other
Immortal Thor.
Yeah, that's the new announcement there. And also, I quickly want to mention they mentioned the Black Hammer The End miniseries from Dark Horse is going to come out in August, which I've been reading Black Hammer from Jeff Lemire for a long time now. He's been writing that, I feel like, for several years now at this point. And this miniseries that's going to be coming out called The End in August, he says, is the end, but also the start of maybe something new moving forward.
Yeah.
He said he was done.
The end.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's the end of all these characters or storylines that he's been telling through different miniseries and main series over the last several years, which I've been a big fan of. It's a 6-issue miniseries that comes out in August, starting from Dark Horse. So I'm looking forward to it. I wanted to quickly mention that for anybody that's been waiting for the return of Black Hammer, let's say, because it's been like a year, I think, since the last series. The last series, though, wasn't all that good. So I hope he kind of sticks the landing with this one. And so I have high hopes for it. I'm a big fan of the Black Hammer universe. That's basically just like his version of different versions of people from Marvel and DC, really, in his own universe that he's kind of made up. But it's been a lot of fun, and I've been a big fan of that over the years. So that has been announced as well today. Solicits are fully going to be out next week, guys. So we'll go over more next week, and that's why these announcements are slowly trickling out. But for now, let's go over the new comic solicitations for August of 2023 for Marvel. Why don't we? Let's check this out.
Give me a second, I'll be right back.
Come on. Yeah, grab a next drink, have a smoke. Let's get to it, shall we? All right. All right, guys. So once again, what's that?
That's the new bread of choice, Molson Canadian.
Yeah, there you go, man. it's a good beer. I like Molson Canadian. All right. So shout out to comicreleases.com. Of course, as always, is the site we choose to use when we bring up these solicitations. I think he does a good job of compiling them and puts them out there always in time for one of their shows. So shout out to them. They always do a good job of doing that. And if you guys are into collected editions, they always do a better job of categorizing all that kind of stuff past the solicitations. They always have up-to-date release dates for all of their collected edition type stuff, because things are constantly getting pushed back and changed the dates of, ever since the pandemic, where they didn't publish comics for like 3 months. It seems like all the dates kind of been constantly been pushed forward for a few months as a result, right? So things get changed constantly. And there's also that whole paper thing going on too, which everyone's worried that apparently they've said in a few years they predicted that anything in print will cease to exist. So we'll see. We might have to continue the shows to the wheels. Well, I was about to say we might have to continue this to the wheels come off completely. This show, if that's the case, they're like, yeah, no more comics, no more, just digital. So we'll see what happens. But all right, this is for August. Of this year, 2023, Marvel. Uncanny Avengers 1 of 5, which I was surprised to hear this is a miniseries. I thought this was going to be an ongoing, but it's a miniseries. Jerry Duggan, Uncanny Avengers. You on board or what, Chris?
I'm on board.
Me too. Oh, that's a nice cover, actually. Yeah.
I don't know about Cap in that picture, but
yeah, but I'm a little well, that's a cool one too. Let's get some Fall X variants here. Ooh, Psylocke. I'm a little. Oh, she's part of the team. That's cool. Her, Quicksilver, Deadpool. Who the fuck is this person? Who is that? I don't know who that is. Wild Child? I don't know. Rogue and Cap. This is actually the second time I think Jerry Duggan's written an Uncanny Avengers series. I think he did back in the day too. Like, this is not a new concept. They've tried to do this before after the Avengers versus X-Men crossover event that they did back in the day in Marvel. Like that, this Uncanny Avengers was a team that they made as a fallout of the first time that they had friction with one another. So I guess in an attempt to get Cap up their ass once again, the mutants of Krakoa, he's like, as it says here, the fall of X calls for the return of the Avengers Unity Squad. So there you go. So I guess maybe that's why they're only doing a.
Well, I think from what I understand is Deadpool's got a daughter and she gets kidnapped by the Stark Sentinels,
which is a character and storyline that Jerry Duggan wrote when he wrote Deadpool fucking so long ago. Wow. So he's really bringing a lot of stuff that he's been working at Marvel for a long time. Like I said, I think Jerry Duggan is underappreciated. I like a lot of stuff that he's done. I read all his Deadpool. I thought it was great. Absolutely. So I'm on board for sure. Plus a bonus page written by Jonathan Hickman. Who are the gods? That's gonna be a page, I guess, addressing the gods series that's gonna be coming out soon. So there you go. All right, so here's the announcement we were teasing earlier. The Immortal Thor #1, written by Al Ewing, who also wrote Immortal Hulk, which was a big fucking hit. That series, it was great. I read it, and it was a big hit for Al Ewing. Great series. And he said he has already announced he is giving the same immortal treatment to the Immortal Thor, and he has planned this same like he has planned Immortal Hulk as a 50-issue run ultimate retelling of Thor. I'm on fucking board for this. Yeah. This sounds great, man. Yeah, thank God Al Ewing to the rescue after Donny Cates abandoned the book. No more fucking Torrin Grunbeck. Thank God.
Yeah, they can move away from because the Thor almost seemed like a Marvel team up book there for a while, like they're always throwing in some new big character, like the ones I've seen. There was Venom. I think that Silver Surfer or something in there in the early days.
Yeah. I'm on board. I'm on board for sure. Yeah. Sounds good. And once again, a bonus page written by Jonathan Hickman. Who
I
are the
hope these
gods?
are all different bonus pages, not the same bonus page in every comic, but
I hope so too. Maybe
I
that's
imagine they're the same.
maybe this is the gimmick they're going for. They want everyone to buy all the comics this month so they could like get a full story out of it. You know what I mean? Maybe it's like
Yeah,
a whole full issue if you collect all the issues of 20 pages, right? That would be good if they did that. But yeah, it says in Norse myths they call him Thunderer. Viewer has been called and Hilordi. I don't know what the fuck that is. The gods know him as Asgard's king, keeper of Mjolnir, hero of the tales. When injustice grips the earth and ancient powers bring down the sky, he fights for those who cannot. And when the tale is done, we will know what that cost him. Listen, it sounds like he's got a great plan for a story here. The fact that he's already gone out of his way to say this is the immortal treatment and he's giving it another 50-issue run. I have high hopes for this. And I dig Thor as a book. And yeah, I'm continuing this for sure. So yeah, glad you're on board as well. Death of the Venomverse, #1.
Yeah, screw that.
Yeah.
Going to the well once too often. I think the Death of the Spider-Verse was enough. Well, maybe that second cover, but
yeah, some good covers.
Yeah. Well, who knows?
#2, 3, 4.
Oh, yeah. Are they putting it on weekly? Yeah, no way.
5. Yeah, weekly. Yeah, no, I'm out. Let's take a look at some of the covers, though. Why not? Nice covers. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they get an idea here and just beat it to death.
Yeah.
Like, they beat that Spider-Verse stuff to death, and now they're freaking going to do with Venom. Come on.
Pretty much, yeah. All right. Spider-Man Annual #1. No, I'm not picking this up. I might read it online, but this looks like it's going to be.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be that Contest of Champions stuff.
Oh,
Spider-Man versus Wolverine.
Contest of Chaos. Oh. Okay, maybe I will
be running through the annuals, so I might be getting this.
I might be getting this now too. I didn't know what this was. Okay, that sounds interesting. Contest of Chaos begins. Spider-Man versus Wolverine. Yeah. Okay. Maybe. Stephanie Phillips. I like her. Alberto Foch. I don't know that guy, but okay. Iron Man Annual. Who's he facing? Iron Man versus Storm. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Ghost Rider versus the Human Torch. That's kind of interesting, actually. I don't know. Maybe.
I'll definitely read that. I don't know if I'll be buying it, but
Fantastic Four Annual. Yeah, I might be reading it. Who the fuck? Moon Knight versus Teguki. Who the hell is that?
Yeah,
it's one of those new
Spider Division or something.
One of those new Asian. Yeah, it's one of the. They've been doing those little small mini series of new ethnic characters. Yeah, okay. I'm just like, I don't know who that is. I'm like, who the fuck is Teguki? But Jed McKay's writing it, so yeah, there you go. That's not bad. Ultimate Invasion, yes. Yeah. Which cover? Ooh, Daniel Acuna. That looks good. Maybe this one. I don't know.
I know that. I like the tease there with Miles Morales being able to try and get back to his home world. Like, why wouldn't he want to go back?
Right. Yeah. No, I'm down with this. Looks like Marvel Age 1000 was solicited again. I guess they can't.
I think I put that in a pull list for last month.
I did, but if they resolicited it, you have to do it again because it looks like they may have canceled the order. It looks like they probably couldn't get it out in time for July, so it's coming out in August now, or they delayed it because of some sort of story shit. But yeah, I'm getting this cover. I like this one, but
I think they're all decent. There's nothing.
It's your boy Greg Land.
Jumping out. Yeah.
Dark X-Men #1 of 5.
Oof.
I'm going to read this one, I think, digitally, but I am interested to check this out.
Yeah, I do like everybody there.
Same. This looks like it may have vibes of like Hellions, kind of. You know what I mean? Like it kind of looks like that. So Madeline Pryor's running the team. Yeah, I might check that out online at least. Astonishing Iceman 1 of 5. No, I think I'm good on this. Now they all got the Fall of X banners on them, so we're coming to the Krakoa era. Apparently, Children of the Vault 1 of 4. Look, this is about the team that we saw in X-Men come out of the vault after they went in, it looks like.
It depends if they were really actually out of the vault or if they're still in their little freaking dream world.
The children of the vault are back, and they are determined to be humanity's salvation, but not everything is as it seems, and every utopia has its cost.
I think they might be in the dream world still, or their stasis or whatever.
Yeah, because I don't know if they actually got out at the end of that story, did they?
No, I don't know.
What is the motivation behind these highly evolved beings gifting the world with their advanced technology, and how do Bishop and a now Orcus captured Cable figure into their plans? Some interesting stuff going on, but okay, then we got Alpha Flight 1 of 5, a Canadian.
Oh yeah, I'm all over this.
You're all over this, yeah?
Yeah.
Ed Brisson writing it, who's also Canadian. I think Scarlet Spider is part of the team, if I'm not mistaken. Is that him in the background there? It looks like him. I don't know. That's a good Art Adams.
I want to see some Guardian.
Yeah, Scarlet Spider looks like, or somebody like that. Yeah. Yeah, I am a sucker for an Alpha Flight. We are Canadian guys, so we are a sucker for an Alpha Flight mini series. Yeah, I might be in. Scott Godlewski is a good artist. Okay, maybe. Jean Grey 1 of 4.
Oof, I don't know about this one. I want to, but
got Louise Simonson again, a vet of the industry. This is one of those miniseries I think of an older writer from the X-Men coming back to write her, right? So yeah, I'm okay on this. Realm of X number 1 of 4. Fucking Torrin Grunbeck, no thanks.
Yeah, no, out.
I like the characters in this though. Yeah, it looks like
I do, but freaking, they're all. It has to do with freaking Thorland. I don't know why this Torrin Grumberson person seems to be the Asgard guru or something, and it's brutal.
Yeah, she seems to be. It's because of her. It's because of her heritage, Chris. I think she's like she's like Swedish or like Dutch or something. Yeah. She is a Norse goddess. Apparently, Torrin Grunbeck is a pen name too. I just recently learned because when she joined Thor, co-writing the Valkyrie book with Jason Aaron, I guess they had to give her some sort of like a Nordic like pen name of some sort. Yeah, apparently that's not even her real names. The Torrin Grunbeck, I think, translates to something like goddess of whatever. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
You got hosed.
Sorry, guys. You guys are fans of Torrin Grunbeck. We're not really. Invincible Iron Man. Yes, I'm in. I'm reading this online.
I should be buying this. But yeah, I'll be reading it online for sure.
I agree. We really both should. Tony Stark, Black King of the Hellfire Club. Like, come on.
Yeah, I think I'm buying this. Fuck, come on. There's good stuff going on in this here.
I know. I didn't know it was going to be part of the fucking X-Men stuff so much, though. I should have. Jerry Duggan, again, good stuff. I mean, I already pre-ordered the first trade, which is the first 6 issues, but yeah, I should be buying this too. This seems like this has been really good. X-Men Red number 14.
Yeah, I'm out on Red. I read it, but I'm out.
X-Force number 43. No, I'm out on this. Good cover though. Makuna stuff there again. Immortal X-Men 14. I'm reading this online now. I've decided to drop this in physical.
I'll still be in on this.
Yeah. Ooh, nice cover there. That's a good one.
What if that's a variant or a ratio?
Regular variant cover by Elizabeth Torque. Oh no, hold on. Quiet Council variant cover by Phil Note. No, that's this one. Yeah, this is a regular variant though. Yep.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting.
It's a nice one. I don't know what the fuck this is. Classified 1 of 4. Like, fuck you, Marvel. Like, tell us what these things are. Like, why are we buying these things then? Stay tuned for more information.
Fuck, I'm probably gonna buy it. I've seen some spoilers for that Fallen Friend.
Oh, did you? I didn't see any. So what is it?
I want to spoil it.
I don't care. Tell us. Spoilers, guys. All right. Marvel's
you
voice.
You can find it. It's out there if you want it.
Okay. Marvel's voice is X-Men. No. Is it worth picking up? Tell me that.
Yeah.
Okay. I might be out.
Not that interesting to me.
If it's fucking Winter Soldier, like I thought, I'm out. Because I have not been liking this event. Yeah, I think I'm out. All right. Ghost Rider, Wolverine, Weapons of Vengeance Alpha, 1 of 4. This is Howard Mackie returning to these characters. He did something with these.
No, I like Wolverine. Wolverine and Ghost Rider, but
So
I
do
don't know.
I. And the artist on this, Jeff Shaw, is really good too. He's a writer. He's the artist that worked with like Donnie Cates a lot. This artist on
I'll see how my pull list is looking. That could be on that could be a pull.
yeah, it looks good.
I don't know about that Frank Miller cover. If that's is that a ratio variant?
Sure is. Yeah.
Oh, screw that.
Virgin variant cover. Yeah, I don't know. His art style is
Well, it's supposed to be a little wackier. I don't know. That might be something to speculate. But
yeah. Ghost Rider 17. I mean, the fact that he does variants, he doesn't do them all that often is yeah, for that reason alone. No, I'm out on Ghost Rider, but yeah, I might check out that miniseries like you are too. Wolverine 36. Yeah. Ooh, Jeff Shaw is writing this one.
Oh yeah, I'm getting this cover for sure. That's an awesome cover.
Jeff Shaw's also drawing this, and it looks like it's a crossover with the Ghost Rider Wolverine. Oh, okay. Yeah. If I'm not buying it, I'm reading it then. If this is a crossover with that miniseries, oh yeah. Yeah, I'm in on this. I'm reading this for sure. This also sounds interesting. Magneto 104.
And this is like a current day sort of. It's not like a throwback or something, is it?
This is current. No, I think this is throwback.
Yeah, I'm out then.
This is one of those like older writers.
Yeah, when he goes back, I think it's when he's starting up as the headmaster or something.
Yeah, but this is a speculated issue, everybody. This one. This is gonna be the first appearance of like his daughter or something like that. I don't know what's going on there, but apparently
you got me. Twist my arm.
Well, I read an article about it. This is apparently going to be a speculated issue. So I don't know whether they changed the plans for it or not. But this originally, when I think they announced it, they said that, in fact, one mutant known as Ray in her first ever appearance has taken Magneto's lessons to heart away that will upend the master of magnetism.
And we'll never hear from her about for 30 years until next.
Anyway. That's very true, possibly. I don't know if it's her daughter. I mean, I take that back, but it is a new character. So I think they said this, all the speculators, when they seen this announcement, they're like, oh, this could be something, but probably nothing. Captain America finale. So they're wrapping up the series then? Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing. There you go. This is the finale of the series, I guess. I don't know. Fuck
I don't know. I'm not going to do that to Cap. You have like a legacy of like freaking hundreds of issues. I might get this facsimile issue though. This
big facsimiles, giant size X-Men and Spider-Man 300. Holy, watch out!
Not the Spider-Man 300. I don't need the facts on that one.
Such a dick. Got that issue. Thank you very much.
No, Brian, so I can put them side by side, and see if it's really a good facsimile or not.
No, well, the color is going to be better on this one. I'll say that much. This is the first appearance of Moon Knight in this one too.
I was wondering why this Werewolf by Night is so popular.
That's the first Moon Knight. That's where Moon Knight first appeared. Yeah, in the pages of Werewolf by Night. I don't know what this is. Marvel Unleashed 104. Oh, Kyle Starks is. See, I'm telling you, this Kyle Starks guy, man, the guy who did the Peacemaker, all over the place. I might have to.
That might sell me on this. I'll buy him just to get this Kyle Starks guy some business. Unless it's about the Inhumans.
What is this about? I mean, Kraven unleashes the beast. When Kraven abducts Lockjaw at the same time, a local scientist up with AIM goes missing. It's up to Throg the Frog of Thunder, Redwing the Falcon, Chewie the Cat Flurkin, which is from Captain Marvel, Lucky the Pizza Dog, which is from Hawkeye, Bats the Ghost Dog, which is from Doctor Strange. This is literally all the Marvel Universe pets.
You imagine you're this guy, you've been doing all this freaking awesome stuff outside. Okay, Marvel's, okay, we got you. Marvel, we want to hire you. Okay, what story do you want? We want you to use Lockjaw, Throg, and Bats the Dog.
You know what though? He's a very humorous writer. Like we've seen, like he the Peacemaker book, the Where Monsters Lie. I'm on fucking board.
I'll buy stuff. He's gonna take this garbage. He can turn this into gold.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm on board, guys. So we'll support this. I'm telling you, Kyle Starks is a hot new talent. I think that's been. This is the first books that he's. This is how you got to start writing for the big two, guys. They give you small things like this. You prove yourself. You're like, take these bullshit fucking characters and make something out of this book. And if they're good, they give you bigger titles. Like we've seen Jed McKay rise up the ranks. He's writing fucking Avengers now, right? So like so there you go. I think that's kind of how they do things over there. Amazing Spider-Man number 31. Ooh, look at this cover.
Yeah, definitely in that second cover there.
Yeah, so your boy Greg Land with the same fucking photoshopped face that he always.
Well, at least it's not that freaking sitting on the standard one where you're sitting on the ledge.
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 31 is a $9.99 issue. Whoa, special oversized issue. Why? NYC versus Tombstone. Well, I'm picking it up. Screw you guys. Oh, look, Chris.
I'm getting it, but look, why? Come on.
Look at these artists, Chris. John Romita Jr., okay?
Hey.
Patrick Gleason.
Okay, I'm in.
Carrie Andrews, the guy who just drew some of the last issue, right?
Really bad.
And more. And more.
And more, yeah, me.
And Amazing Spider-Man 32, Chris. Patrick Gleason.
Nice.
Okay, we got
that A cover. What's the B cover?
Take a look here. That's
awesome.
I like that. That's a Gleason one right there. That's a nice cover. Ooh. Fuck Spider-Gwen, though. Is she in this story even? Is this like a Spider variant? Yeah, no, I'm out of this. That's like Kraven's Last Hunt homage here. Yeah, that's cool, I guess. But, if it was Spider-Man, sure. But if it's Spider-Gwen and you get Spider-Gwen Duck, get out of here. This covers the one right here.
Yeah, that's the cover.
Yeah. Amazing Spider-Man Annual. This is written and drawn by different people, though. Yeah,
Hallows Eve. Well, maybe.
Hallows Eve Returns, yeah. Captain Marvel Dark Tempest number 2, no. X-Men Days of Future Past Doomsday 2, no. Storm, no. Blade, no. What If Dark Venom number 1.
Maybe. I might read these online.
Yeah, I was about to say, maybe I'll read this online. Ooh, Thing gets a Venom symbiote? Yeah, I might read this online. That seems fun. I like What If as a concept. It's fun. Yeah, What If Dark is these ones. Yeah, What If Dark. Okay, yeah, I might read this one online for sure. What If Dark Moon Knight? Yeah, okay, I'll check these out probably online. These seem like fun. Okay. Yeah, Werewolf by Night shows up in there probably. Moon Knight City of the Dead 205. I don't know why they got a fucking miniseries going at the same time as the main series. Yeah. But okay. I don't know about this. Ooh, nice covers though. Is that Bill Sienkiewicz? Yeah, it is Bill Sienkiewicz. Nice. Moon Knight 26. Jed McKay still fucking going strong with this one. I'm surprised. I mean, I've been liking it, but
there's some nice covers there though.
I'm out on this. I'm dropping this. Spider-Man and
I just want to get fucking Spider-Boy on the title. I don't know. Everybody loves Spider-Boy for some reason. I think he's the chump.
Fucking reintroducing Spider-Boy. The battle to save the Spider-Verse may be over. So you give us a fucking 3-issue arc with Electro, and then you're bringing us back to this shit. I'm out. I'm dropping this. I'm over it now. It's spinning out of the restored web of life, and Destiny returns the spectacular Spider-Boy. Yeah, who cares? Okay, I'm out. I think I might check it. I might read it online if you're going to be reading it, but I think I'm going to stop buying that book. I
buy this one. You can drop it after.
He's talking the fucking. He's bringing us back to the well already. This fucking guy just ended it. Red Goblin number 7. No. Cult of Carnage, Misery. No. Venom. You reading this online still? I guess. Ooh, Doom.
Oof. Yeah, I'm getting that's a decent cover. I got to get that. Probably gonna suck, but Doom and Venom can't go wrong.
Prepare to meet your doom. Yeah, no, that sounds good. Spider-Man India, no. Silk number 4, no. Miles Morales, Spider-Man 9, no. Incredible Hulk. You're picking this up, right?
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
I think I might just be reading this one online. Hulk's not like always a total sell for me. I kind of read the last one based on Kate's, but I love Nick Klein, the artist on that. So yeah, I'll be reading it online for the very least. First couple issues. Loki, no. Groot number 4, no. Warlock Rebirth, no. Guardians of the Galaxy, no. I'm not reading this anymore.
Yeah, no.
Black Panther 3, no. Avengers 4, yes. Yeah, I'll be continuing with this. How about you?
Yeah, for sure.
Scarlet Witch 7, no. I'm out on this.
Yeah, out.
Fantastic Four 10. I guess against my best my best effort, I think I'll be continuing to read this online at the very least.
A little weak. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. Danny Ketch, Ghost Rider 4, no. Daredevil and Echo 4, no. Daredevil 14, I guess this is the last issue. Or maybe 15 would be last issue. Yeah, so yeah. Doesn't say last issue here.
Yeah, you figure they'd have more fancy covers.
There you go. It says the end with 2 D's. Yeah,
Oh,
okay. I guess that's it. So yes, we're picking that up. Deadpool 10, no. Deadpool Batter Blood with Rob Liefeld, no. Strange
you
Academy.
gotta get that Captain America homage there with Deadpool.
The big tits.
That's what I want to buy.
Strange Academy, Miles Morales, #1. I don't know why they're doing a fucking one shot of this, but
I don't know what that's about either, but whatever.
I'm out. Yeah, I'm out on that though. Doctor Strange #6. Yes, I'll pick this up. Ooh. Alien #5. Yeah, this is the part of this show where we're like, no, Star Wars.
Yeah,
Alien.
going out to the other universes, let's say.
I do read some of this stuff in collected editions, but yeah, that's it. That's it for the solicitations today, guys. You'll see more next week when we get full solicitations for the DC and some of the other companies. But yeah, that's what we're looking forward to picking up in August from Marvel. Speaking about what we're looking picking up there, Chris, what are you reading next week?
Oh, next week I got my list here. Let's see. I think I'm buying Fury 1, Thor 34, Action 1055, Harley Quinn 30, Nightwing 104, Doom Patrol 3. I think I'm just reading a few of those. So it's going to be a light week that I'm buying. That's why I'm trying to pick up some more. Like I'm getting very light weeks lately. But I think it seems next week is an off week too. Like everybody's saving it for the last week of May.
Yeah,
I think like May 31st ends up on a Wednesday or something too. So it's like a 5-week month or something.
right. Which happens every few months.
Yeah.
And yeah, but it's also good in the sense it's not bad to clear the decks before a lot of big releases out this summer too, right? Which kind of is what I've been doing. But I hear you. Yeah, I do. I am trying to make an effort and pick up a few more titles now too. Harley Quinn #30, Nightwing 104, same as you. Forge #3, which I think might be the last issue. I pre-order that hopefully. Fury #1, I also picked up. Kea #8, Thor #34. You got TMNT, Usagi Yojimbo, Where When #3, and one you may have missed there. Vanish 7 comes out next week. Yeah, and
that is for sure.
Patrol and maybe a couple other things online digitally. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm picking up though, physically. So yeah, some good stuff. All right, Chris, your favorite book of the week, my friend.
Well, I thought it was a tough week to pick a favorite, but I think the more we talked about it, I'm gonna have to go with X-Men.
Yeah, that's a
yeah, whatever it is, 22.
Sick
cover.
That's a good one. That's a good one. It's between two for me. I'm gonna give it to Arcade Kings #1. Like I said, this was a book by an artist I really like, and I want to show support. And I think this was a good debut written issue on his part because I don't think I've ever read anything by him. And this had a lot of fun stuff in it. I have high hopes for the rest of the miniseries, and I had a lot of fun with this one. And like I said, if you're into anime or video games and those kind of themes or good art, I think this one's worth checking out. Runner up was this though. I mean, of course, the way I talked about it, I did have a fun time with this one too. But as I mentioned, that's kind of like that's one of the books I normally have been enjoying lately. This kind of came out of nowhere, so I wanted to give it a good shot here today. So yeah, Arcade Kings #1. All right, well, that's gonna do it for today, guys. Oh man, I don't think I'm gonna keep in some of that footage, but guys, I just want to let you know I dropped my mouse. The battery rolled out a bit. It took us a few minutes to actually be able to close out the show here as a result. So thank you for tuning in. Always a good time. Thank you, Chris, for indulging in my in our hobby here that we enjoy to talk about week to week. It's always a good time. Yeah, it's good to get together and do this. So
always fun about comics.
That's right. So we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for tuning in as always. And yeah, later.
All right. Cheers.